Hi Daryl, this is Becky with Gray Owl Marketing. I know you're busy, so I'll keep this brief, but I did just want to show you 3 tips you can use today to help bring in more customers to your business. Because oftentimes in the world of the internet, most local business owners are just too busy with their own businesses to keep up with how the internet can really work for them and benefit their business. So as you can see here, I am on your website. I do like the easy way to find your phone number right here. Love that you're already accessible. It has a really nice look and feel to it with some beautiful pictures. But the first thing that is important to know if you really want to optimize with Google is you need to have at least 1,500 words of content on your home page. And it looks like you guys only have a few hundred words on your home page. And content really is king because Google uses in their formula, Google decides how to rank people higher than others by the content they have. And Google likes to see high quantities of content so that they can make a decision about who's going to rank for what keywords, but they also want to see high quality content. So you want your business to show up on page 1 when your customers are searching on Google. So make sure you have those 1,500 keywords, but you also want to optimize what words you're using, including in your content throughout your entire site. So I've pulled up your site here in a tool I use called Ahrefs. You can Google free tools that are similar to this, but you can see I have your website here, and this essentially is a dashboard and a snapshot of your online presence. So you're getting a little bit of traffic to your website here from the organic traffic, but if you look here, you are ranking for quite a bit of keywords. So when we look at these keywords, you're seeing things like your brand. So it's good to rank for those, but those aren't necessarily words that people would search if they didn't know your company already. Yard fences gets a lot, but that's not a buyer intent keyword. That's more of a national word, so not too worried that you're not ranking there. Wood fences Atlanta, that's a good buyer intent keyword. You can see that it's getting 20 searches a month, and you're ranking probably on the top of page 2 here, or at the bottom of page 1. Another good keyword, fencing's Cumming, Georgia, is getting 100 searches a month, and you're ranking somewhere at the bottom of page 2 for that. So my first tip would be to think about increasing your content, selecting 2 or 3 buyer intent keywords and use them on your website, throughout the website. You also want to think about having different service pages for the different locations that you serve so that you can rank number 1 for the various locations. Because I just want to show you an example here. If I put in Fence Company Atlanta, for example, this is a buyer intent keyword that has 350 searches a month. So you're missing out on over 4,000 customers a year by not ranking for this keyword here. And so as you can see, when people search online, there's kind of 3 primary areas when people search. The first is this ad section here, and it's good to run ads. It is a good part of a strategy, if that makes sense, to fill in some gaps. But you got to be careful with this because it can be a money pit if you don't do it right. But when people search, there is a group of people that will just click on the first thing they see here, and that's what these ads are good for. But oftentimes people will scroll past the ads and get down here to this second section, which we call the map pack. And this is where Google puts the top 3 businesses that it feels confident and comfortable putting in the top here. And there's a lot of search going on there. The third area here is organic searches. So you really want to try to optimize and rank not only in the map pack, but also down here in the organic search, because people do also skip that and go straight down here to the more organic search for searching things. But primarily about 40% of all traffic lands here in this top 3 section. So you're probably wondering and asking yourself, how do I get to this top 3? And there's a few ways that you can do it, and I'll show you a couple of them. The first is thinking about your Google profile, which you see here on the right-hand side. This is where you want to optimize what we call citations, which this is your name, address, and phone number located in different business directories all over the web. So think Yelp, think Yellow Pages, think City Star, Whitebook. Those are all online directories where you can go ahead right now and put your information. Facebook is one of them, and put your information in there and have a lot of footprint across the internet. But the important thing about this is to make sure it's consistent. It's extremely important to be consistent. Google uses machines to track things, so if it does not match exactly, Google does not like that. So the first thing that I noticed here is in your Google profile, you have this phone number here, but when you go to your website, you have a different phone number. So Google does not like that because really wants to see that when people search different platforms, they get the same information. So go through all the directories, your Facebook page, your website, make sure that it all consistently matches this here. If you want this to be your source of truth, so you want to go ahead and update this if this is not accurate and make sure they're all consistently matching. The last thing I'll say about Google profiles is think about your pictures. And this applies to both the pictures on your website here and pictures in your Google profile. You want to go ahead and save those pictures as buyer intent keywords so that when Google crawls your website, it's picking up those keywords and making you relevant. And the second thing with pictures is make sure, again, you're a service-based company, so you can see this little circle it's drawing around here because you want to use geotags in your picture. So if you're taking a picture of a beautiful fence you made at a client's location, make sure you're geotagging it because this is really helpful. By doing so, Google sees not only what type of work you're doing by those keywords, the titles are being saved as the keywords, but also where you're doing that work using those geotags. So when people are searching for similar things, you're going to show up in those searches, right? And that's really important. The next thing I'll say is, again, thinking about trying to target getting in this top 3 area. The other thing that that's important that Google really wants to see is your company's online reputation or your site authority. So you can see I put in here Fencing Companies Atlanta, which is getting 350 searches a month. And you're not showing up in this map pack here. In fact, you're showing up on page 4 or 5, and your reputation is that is one of the things that is a key factor that as well. So again, if we go back in here, when I say reputation or your site's authority, these are numerical numbers of your site authority. So right now you don't have an online presence, you do not have any site authority, and this number here is driven by this information here, your referring domains. So you have 20 referring domains pointing 43 backlinks to your website. But it's important to understand that not all referring domains are created equally. If you look down here at this do follow number, 14 of those 20 links are the ones that is giving your site power, but right now it's not very effective in optimizing your site's strength. So to show you an example, Fencing Company Atlanta, the #1 company is here, so I brought up their website. Their website's not a lot to write home about, so you could definitely look at their site and outrank them by doing things like increasing your content and your keywords. But again, I put their site in my tool as well. So this is your #1 competitor, and this is what their dashboard looks like. So you can see that they have a site authority score here of 28. You do like to see it above 20, so this is good for them. Ideally, even 30 or 40. We do like to see a 1-for-1 ratio here, which they're not optimizing. But you can see they have 267 referring domains, pushing almost 1,000 backlinks to their site. So there's a lot of things pointing to their site, making Google feel confident that they are the authority in this space. So think of it kind of like a popularity contest. And you can also see that of those 267 referring domains, 222 of them are relevant sites and giving it authority. Now, don't be spooked by this because obviously your numbers are a little bit different. If you want to focus on this as a strategy, you can easily kind of use tools like this and see where this site is drawing its strength from and essentially copy what they're doing. And over time, you will rank just as them in their site as well. So those are my top 3 tips for you. Again, content, #1, content is king, both quantity and quality. And then thinking about your Google profile, you want to make sure it's consistent across all platforms. And then you want to think about your site's authority by adding quality backlinks to your site. So if you want to implement these strategies today, you can be #1 across Google. And you can either use this information and do it yourself. I'm totally cool with that. That's fine. However you want to be more effective and save yourself some time, you can give me a call and set up a time to chat. Again, my name is Becky Leana with Gray Owl Marketing, and my contact information is in the email. I hope you found this information valuable, and I look forward to speaking with you. Have a good one.